There are quite a few different college majors that your Sims can choose from in The Sims 4, from economics to fine arts to villainy. So today in The Sims 4, we're going to be building townhouses for different college majors, except we're also going to be assigning them an aesthetic. I've done this challenge before where I built tiny homes for different college majors, so I'll link that video down below, but I want to stray from the stereotype this time. Yes, an art history student will probably have lots of art in their home, but their college major isn't the only thing that defines them. And that is where this wheel comes in. Yes, we have seen her before. I filled it up with even more random aesthetics to choose from, and we also have a wheel of every college degree possible in The Sims 4. So let's spin first for an aesthetic, and we get live, laugh, love. Oh no. And for the major, we are going to be doing culinary arts. Wait, that's actually perfect. But before we get started today, this video is sponsored by Majjam. Majjam is a cozy multiplayer adventure game where music is magic. The entire world reacts to music, which is such a cool concept. Like, you can use music to influence gameplay, you can open chests, awake spirits, and more. And in the world of Majjam, there is a deadly fog that's trying to erase all life and sound. Your story begins as you choose from 4 different heroes, each with their own musical styles and abilities, and you work together with your friends to create music and push back against the deadly fog. On your adventures, you can collect jam cards, which are unique melodies that interact with the world, and you can even use customization to create your own musical tunes or customize your avatar with unique skins, instruments, and emotes. There are mini games to explore like races, invisible paths, or even 2v2 hockey, and as the fog retreats, you'll open up even more lands to explore with even more challenges to discover. The game itself is very accessible. You don't need any rhythm expertise to enjoy the adventures. The inputs actually auto-harmonize and sync online, so rest assured your music will always sound good. Majjam is still in early development, and their first playtest starts on September 18th, and it runs until September 21st at midnight. So it's exciting because player feedback can actually help shape what's next for Majjam. Spots are limited, but make sure you sign up for the playtest using the link down in the description below. And thanks again to Majjam for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. So when I think of the live, laugh, love aesthetic in terms of home decor, I think of this, and it doesn't even have to end at live, laugh, love. Like, I picture quotes on the wall, family tree art on the wall. Like, I picture this being maybe a middle-aged person decorating their house. Like, I basically just picture a house with quotes everywhere. Quotes as decor. And as much as I don't really like this aesthetic personally, I do feel like this is a pretty realistic one. Like, I have definitely been in this house. This is like your aunt's home or like your friend's cool yogi mom's house. So I'm going to be building in Windenburg today, and I think we're gonna go house by house. So I'll start over to the left with this one. We can make them look a little generic at first, and then we can personalize them for the student. I'm going to make them 2 floors. We could bring this part out a bit. I actually might bring this in. And you know what? Just because I want them to look super tall, I'm gonna add a 3rd floor on here too. I honestly feel like that might just open up more roofing options. Like, I'm gonna use this half gabled roof piece. I'm gonna bring in the adjusters on both sides too. And then I'm gonna copy that and put that onto this other little ledge. And then I'll just raise that up so that the angles match. And then for the top floor of these, I was thinking about using fencing as my roofing. It adds a little detail. I really like this one from City Living. And then when you add trim under there too, like if we can use this one from Enchanted by Nature, we can get our roof paint on there, our roof trim. I think this is gonna look good. Along the back, I kept it flat, so I'm just gonna copy and paste the roofing back here. We'll do only one, so I'll just pull it across. And for some reason, when I think about this like live, laugh, love aesthetic, I think of gray. Like the kind of neutral, all gray, maybe some black and white in there. So we're doing gray wallpaper. I'll raise this up on a foundation. I always think townhouses look really nice when they have those tall stairs leading up to them. It reminds me of those like New York City brownstone sort of apartments. I'm gonna add some foundation paint, and I think I'm gonna go generally neutral with it just because I don't know what color the rest of the townhouses will be. So we'll just go with the gray for now. We can add some columns. These ones are from Businesses and Hobbies. And I am gonna go back to that gray wallpaper I had before. I feel like the contrast on here looks a little bit better like that. Now for windows and doors, I actually recently found this swatch that I really like. It's under these life and death windows, and I love that detail down there with the little diamonds. You can change it up and it changes the color of them. Some of them don't have the diamonds, some of them do. too. These are really pretty and they remind me of some of the Discover University windows as well. Like this swatch is so nice. So I'm going to add these windows. I'll probably use these in different swatches throughout all of them to keep it consistent. Then we can use the Discover University door. Look how good that looks. Along the side, I think I'm going to add in one of these laundry day bay windows. I'm thinking since this is a culinary student, we're definitely going to focus on the kitchen and that'll probably be on the first floor. So those bay windows are going to look really nice on the interior too. For the rest, we'll just bring through these windows like that. Same as the back. And then I'm also going to build out a small deck. So I'll build out the deck like this. We'll add just a small set of stairs. I'll add some flooring. Also, I've been trying to find some flooring to match the surrounding area, like outside of the building box that I'm restricted in. And I don't think we have a matching flooring. It kind of looks like a terrain paint, but even that doesn't match perfectly. Like no matter which one I try, they all aren't quite right, which I think is also the reason why next door, like the EA built house, doesn't even match. So the closest I could find is this Journey to Batu flooring. But then I was thinking in the back here, we could give them tiny little yards. And then in there, we can delete the stone. Maybe the hedges would look a little better. And this way we can actually personalize their backyard too. Like obviously as a culinary student, they're gonna have a barbecue back here. They're gonna wanna be hosting. Maybe we can add a small dining table. We'll add some little chairs out here. I guess they're gonna need a way to get out. So why not have an archway? Honestly, I feel like culinary school would be so fun. I love to cook, but I'm just like a self-taught chef. I feel like going back to school and actually learning what you're supposed to do genuinely be so interesting. Maybe this sim will be me in the future. And I also love that the first student that we're building for is going to be for an older sim. There is something so cool to me about an older person going back to school, whether it's for like a career change or they just want to pursue something they're interested in. I remember when I went to school, there was an older lady in one of my seminars and she was probably the best student there. Like she was not there to mess around. She had worked in the same industry for like years prior and she was over it. She just wanted a change. And I just feel like that's one of the coolest things you can do. So I'm just personalizing this a little bit more. I've added one of our quotes already. And I feel like one thing I really want to add is a welcome sign. Like one of these, like the welcome to our home. We could grab one of the My Wedding Story signs and pretend that's what that says. I'll add some flower boxes. And then I'm just gonna start doing some landscaping over to this side. And maybe we should furnish this before moving on too. Normally I'll do the outsides first, but let's do the interior of this one before moving on to the next one. All right, so this is the outside of the Live, Laugh, Love culinary art student. I really like the front of this with the windows and the window boxes. I also added some colorful trees over to the side just to match what's going on everywhere else. In the back, obviously their yards aren't going to be anything too special. They're a little bit smaller, but we still have our barbecue, our dining space, and of course our quote art. I also did make a layout already. I think for each of the top floors, I'll make it into a study of some kind. So that'll be up here. We're gonna have one bedroom, one bathroom for each of them. And then the bottom floor is gonna be where we have the kitchen and the living room and whatever else we can fit. So starting with the flooring, like I was saying, I picture just straight up gray everywhere. So this is gonna be a very neutral house. I was thinking we could even split this in half and we could do some tile over here. This is where the kitchen could be. But then on this side, we change it up with a different wallpaper. Since this is our culinary student though, I may want this kitchen to be bigger. Like we could lay it out like this and we have plenty of counter space, keeping in mind we still have to add the appliances. Like we need our fridge, we still need an oven. I can put that over here. We need some bar stools and then our sink can go back here. Or we do an island sink and we can have a microwave. We have a coffee machine. I feel like we need one of those like, but first coffee pictures. And I want to bring in some of the kitchen stuff too. Like we have some of these pictures from the kitchen clutter stuff pack. Wait, I think this picture is actually supposed to be saying live, laugh, love in the sim language. That is perfect. I'm adding that in here. I'll add a trash can beside the island. And then I think we need to go on the gallery to get some decor. What comes up if we search up live, laugh, love? Oh my gosh, no, not the hashtag Karen. They both have the same haircut. I'm so dead. This person says, thanks for this. My girlfriend and I are doing a Karen challenge. Best shot at capturing Karen energy. Like like, okay, were you guys picturing Karens when I was describing this? Because I wasn't, but now I am. I'm dead. Okay, I did find this art set. This is exactly what I need. We're gonna download this. I think I'm gonna put these by the stairs and we'll frame them. Like, it kind of looks cute. I feel like it's one of those quotes that just got reused so often that now it's kind of a meme, but like, girl, I get it. The sentiment is there, like, yeah, live, laugh, and love. Like, what else are you supposed to do? I think I'm gonna actually keep extending this. Like, I'm gonna add one of these tables. This way we can add more kitchen clutter without adding them onto the counter pieces. I want to make sure they have lots of room for prep, and probably they would have to bring some of this stuff with them to class, maybe, I guess. So we can also add this mug clutter over here. I want this to be kind of homey. Like, do you see what I mean? I feel like this is a normal looking kitchen. Oh my gosh, I found more. Okay, we're downloading more quotes. We've got our live, laugh, love. I'm gonna highlight these with some lights. Words to live by over here. We can do another little hallway table. I'll add a rug. I want to add in some seating. I think I'll end up adding a TV upstairs, so I basically just need enough for a small seating area right here. And I feel like it has to be cozy too. Like, this sim is gonna be having candles going all the time. Her house is gonna smell great because she's always gonna be making something. I just put these two tiny living tables together. We're gonna add a bookshelf. We're gonna add a couple plants, maybe a mirror here. We can go for a little bit of that like farmhouse chic. And we gotta give our girl her backpack, and I'll give her some cookbook clutter. This is what she's gonna take with her when she goes to class. Which other quote should we pick? Get cozy, stay a while. How about it's so good to be home? Yup, perfect. We're adding this one in. I've framed it. And okay, so far this is our live, laugh, love culinary student home. Honestly, I like it. I like this sim. I like our story. I feel like I would trust the sim with my life. Okay, let's move on from here. Let's go upstairs. The hallway is going to be quote central. Believe in yourself. Be better than you were yesterday. I'm working on myself, for myself, by myself. Some of these are kind of exhausting too. It's like, I'm tired, and sometimes I'm way worse than I was yesterday, but who am I to rain on your parade? I'm gonna also add some chairs in this hallway, I guess. We'll add a table here. We'll get some more fruit decor. Like, I was thinking a fruit bowl here and just like a small rug. Cute. Okay, let's make a bedroom. I feel like this is gonna be really cozy actually. I'm gonna use this wallpaper from Vampires. I feel like this bed could work, this like gray. I'm gonna actually delete this window on this side just so I can add a TV in here for her. Ooh, a fireplace in here could be really cozy. I like this one from Parenthood. We'll grab some bedroom quotes. Oh yeah, it's possible. I am having fun with these. I don't know if you can tell. I added this little bench in here. I'm gonna add some pillows on top. Maybe we turn it actually so it's not just up against the wall. Then we can get a lamp back here. We'll add a rug under the bed. This is kind of a weird shaped room, but I do want to add a bookshelf in the back. Like, I'll add that one from the Modern Luxe kit. Sometimes Live, Laugh, Love is in statue form, so I'm gonna add this from the Modern Luxe kit as well. I'll add a cottage living basket with pillows in it. We have more quotes over here, and I think I'm just gonna add a mirror on the wall, like above the bed like this. And there we go. We've got our bedroom complete. These are pretty nice for college townhouses. These Sims probably paid quite a bit for this, getting their whole townhouse furnished. We've got quotes everywhere. I also added in one of the cool kitchen pictures. There's some like kitchen art going on in here. There was also this one, but I felt like this one matched. Again, I like it. I picture this being a family home. Like, this sim definitely has a family back home or something. All we have left is the bathroom on this floor. And I was picturing this wallpaper from Parenthood, like even this one with the black and white. Parenthood in general is gonna work here. Like, I want to use this. This is the shower combo from Parenthood. And then maybe we can do toilet on this wall. And since that toilet is over far enough, I think we should be able to get away with our sink right here. I don't have a whole lot of space for my quotes, but that's not gonna stop us from being awesome today. That's gonna go right here by the toilet. Something to think about while you're on there. I'm just gonna try and add a small plant right there. And this is our bathroom complete. And then moving on from here, all we have left is the top floor. And I feel like these are gonna be kind of fun. Like, this is where I want to have a desk. I'm gonna use this one from Cats and Dogs. We'll add a computer. I would assume a lot of this would be more hands-on. I'm completely assuming. Culinary students, let me know, but like, are you writing papers? Like, I would think you would be more so making food for your test, like showing technique and things like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know. I'm kind of curious. So again, our book clutter, we're gonna have cookbooks. Cool Kitchen also has some, so we can change it up. Oh, isn't there a tablet somewhere? Yeah, kitchen clutter came with a tablet. This is perfect. Maybe they bring this tablet to school. This is where their recipes are held. I'm gonna add a bookshelf right here. And then I want it to be extra cozy. I'm gonna also add in some of the book nook chairs chairs like these ones. The book nook love seat is also really cozy. May as well hit them with the eat, pray, love. And I don't really have room for much over to this side, so I think I'll just fill it in with like a plant, a picture of like pears. Oh, actually there's some book nook kit quotes as well. Okay, there we go. There's our office. Cookbooks on display, all of the motivation they would ever need. I did come down and cozy it up with a couple more candles, and I think we're ready to move on. I'm gonna delete all of these quotes. There's still so many left. And let's move on to the next townhouse. Let's go back to the wheel. So spinning for our next aesthetic, and we are going to be doing retro Las Vegas. This is one of the newer ones I added. I'm actually really excited about this. And our college major is going to be Villainy. Okay, part of this actually also makes sense. So this is exactly what I was picturing for the retro Las Vegas aesthetic. The lights, the neon, casinos, motels, palm trees. Obviously you've got the gambling vibe, but then you also have a little bit of like the desert aesthetic, obviously. And I am so here for this sim studying Villainy. So let's start again with our shell. I'm gonna bring it out like this. I might make this one a little bit smaller. It'll be 3 floors again, so we'll bring it all the way up. We can change it up by making this part a little bit bigger. We'll bring out the front porch. Our fencing up top is gonna stay the same, but I feel like this one has to be darker, right? Maybe we can do some metal roofing. We'll add a piece at the front like that. And is it gonna look weird if I make this really dark? We could try this dark brown. We definitely need a different door, but I think we can keep our windows the same. We'll just obviously change up the swatch. Then we need some dark columns, and I'm trying to picture how we're going to personalize this. Like, I'm picturing neon lights all over the outside. I want to add signage. It's just gonna look so out of place. And also, I just remembered that this is gonna be the neighbor to the Live, Laugh, Love sim. They are probably gonna be so annoyed about this. But I was also thinking, like, this sim doesn't have to be evil. I think it would be more fun if they were. Like, if they're going to school to be a villain themselves, that is just like the most ironic thing. Because I feel like that's the most innocent thing you could do. Like, go to school to be a villain. That's just funny. But I guess you could also be going to school to be like a detective, someone going against the villains. Like, this sim could be trying to become like a corrupt sheriff, maybe. I don't know, but I am going to be adding a games table. We need some chairs, and you can play cards on here. You can play other games like puzzles and stuff. We'll get just a little landscaping back here. I'm also going to add some more terrain paint. So we've got the basics for the outside done, and now we need to customize it. Like, I need signs like this one. This is just a base game sign. I might add that onto my roof. Like, as ridiculous as this is going to look, we gotta do it. And what if they had this pointing to the Live, Laugh, Love house? Like, drinks and darts over there. Like, these two can be feuding. Get Famous has some of this stuff, and if we change the swatch, I like these circular light bulbs for this aesthetic. This is what we're going for. As random as this is for a college dorm, I want to add this on here. We've got to add some neon lights from high school years. There's this random base game cactus sign, which totally works for the desert idea. We'll just squeeze that in there. This would be so annoying to live next to. I already know it. Especially like our culinary student is going to be so serious, and this sim is going to have a disco ball at their front door. We could also add the businesses and hobbies lights going through these columns. And in the back, I'm going to add one of those single bars from Love Struck. I'm just adding some plants back here for a little more decor. I might also add a little graffiti here just because we've got the skull and the red matches. Plus, graffitiing your own dorm building is kind of villainy in itself. Okay, so far this is the outside. I mean, it doesn't look too crazy next to that one. I even don't mind the contrast between the two. And then at nighttime, I don't know, I feel like the lights look kind of fun. I changed over more of them so they're more red toned as well. And this is what we have going on for the back. I did add some neon signs. I also just added some flower boxes for a little extra, and I ended up moving the graffiti up higher up there just so I could keep those like tropical bar signs down below. We again have our layout, so this one is a little bit smaller, but it's going to be generally the same, like kitchen and living down below, 1 bedroom, 1 bath on the second floor, and then up top I used a ladder this time to save a little bit of room, but this is where we're gonna have our study, or in this case our evil Las Vegas villain lair. So let's start on the first floor. I think I want to go all black brick, and maybe we can start off with our kitchen. So that's gonna be over on this side. I may have to squeeze my door over a tiny bit. I'll just rearrange some of this stuff outside. That way we can fit a counter there and a fridge. Keeping in mind though, we're going for retro. Strangerville has quite a few different like retro deserty items. Like the car pictures counters, for example. Some of these are definitely gonna work maybe like upstairs. I was thinking about this sign. This is again from Strangerville. I think it's probably meant to be like an exterior sign, maybe an advertisement for a company sort of thing, gas station even. But there are some really cool swatches in here. I'm gonna use this for my kitchen. I'm gonna add my sink, and then I sort of want the kitchen to go this way. It's gonna have to be a little squishy in there, but we could even use a half wall to separate this so we're not just staring at the back of the counters, especially if we're gonna be adding an oven there. I feel like it would have looked a little weird if we were just looking at the back of the oven. Maybe to save space, we'll just do one counter for prep, so we'll leave that blank. And I want to bring in some funky lighting. I want to use these, I think, from Lovestruck. The fringe is very retro. I'm gonna try and make my own like chandelier out of it. It's kind of matching like the red and the blue that's on that sign. And I was also picturing the globe bar from Vintage Glamour. This is a very retro item. We're gonna put this in the corner. And then coming onto the gallery, I searched up Las Vegas, and there are some crazy results going on here. Oh my gosh, wait, this is so cool. How the heck did they make these? We're downloading these, and these are going somewhere. I don't know if it's upstairs. Yeah, maybe we put these in our study. Oh no, I completely wrecked my room. Wait, I'm gonna have to fix this. How the heck? Wait, this is so cool. The user that made this definitely put a bunch of pieces together. I think they probably had to use the tool mod for this. How did they make the slots? Oh my gosh, they're lamps. Stop it. And in the background, there's this funky debug picture they used. This is a divider that they used as like the screen in front. Then we have tablets on the controls. I love this. This is so smart. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be running a slot machine gambling ring upstairs. This has me completely sidetracked, but I'm just gonna leave that there for a second. I was originally just looking for some art, and I just found this. This is so cool. This is gonna match our color scheme as well. So let's download that. We'll grab a few of them, maybe 3. Those are really obnoxious. I think we have to shrink them. And yeah, I'll put these in my kitchen. Behind these counters, I'm gonna add a bar table. I like this one from Tiny Living. It sort of has that vintage, like space age style to it. And then we still have room for a TV. So I'm gonna add this one from the Party Essentials kit. One thing I noticed when I was in Las Vegas is the carpets and like the rug choices everywhere are generally very bold. So we're gonna use this one from Get Famous. This love seat is also extremely bold. We're gonna add that in. I'll add this table from Base Game. And then we need more villain items. I was actually thinking about this freeze ray, which is just like on display. It also looks kind of retro, like a retro space age movie. We could also use these as decor from Dream Home Decorator. Lava lamps would also be fun. We need something else in this corner, maybe like a beanbag chair. Maybe we add some fairy lights. I hate to say it to the Live Laugh Love girly next door, but this place looks fun. What about the star mirrors? What if we try and like get these going up the stairs somehow? Like just so extra. We can rearrange these. We'll change the colors of some of them. We've got room for another table right here. I need more villain items. We could have a skull flag. I'll add some bottles as clutter. Okay, and there is a university textbook on this subject, so we'll add that in too. Beside our mischief manual. I'm just adding a little more decor over here. I added these pictures from Get to Work because I always thought this one looked like a wanted poster. Okay, so this is the first floor of our retro Vegas villain townhouse. I love it so far. It's such a different contrast from this over here. I'm glad we found those pictures too, because I feel like that really pulled all of the colors together. Here it is over to this side, super extra. And let's continue on with the hallway, which actually there's not really much we can add here other than I guess some wall decor. I did have one remaining picture from that set, so I'll just add this and I'll add a curtain. And then for the bedroom, I wouldn't mind bringing some red in here, and then we can use this as our bed. I might bring back the disco ball for this room. Oh, and Get Famous has like the Elvis costume in it. We for sure need that over in the corner. What other games could we have? I know we have a dartboard. Having that in the bedroom is definitely a choice, but it fits. Having a big cactus in your room is also kind of crazy, but also fits the vibe. I want to add more seating, so I'm gonna add these in from Lovestruck. We could get more vintage glamour in here, like this rug, also this clock. Maybe this would look better in all black, but we changed the lighting to red. I'm gonna add this coffee table right in the center of this rug. And then we need other classic villain items from The Sims. Like we have the duffel bag of cash. I'm gonna put that right on that table. There's some more signs. This one is kind of big, but maybe we can shrink it. Oh, and High School Years has something similar too. We can make this just like a gallery wall of signage. I'll have this mirror right there. We do still need a dresser. I feel like we have to use vintage glamour. I can't add much here because I don't want to block the dartboard. Okay, I rearranged a couple things in here. I added more seating. This is the most random room, especially this part. And like the dartboard, honestly, all of it. The random duffel bag of cash just like right when you walk in the door. I feel like this is like comic book villain kind of thing. Like they're just the type that you can't really take seriously. On this side, I added one of those mirrors with the lights around it. We've got some more classic Vegas pictures. We've got the bed over to this side. Now all we have to do on this floor is the bathroom. I think I'm gonna take that checkered flooring that I was using upstairs and we'll add that in. Maybe this can be where we use the red. We're gonna use the shiny Get Famous shower. Our toilet can go here. Oh my gosh, I found even more. This picture here is the one that I'm looking for. That's kind of cool. Then we can add a sink. I'll use this one from Tiny Living, and I think I'll just use a mirror from Love Struck. So this is what we've got going on for our bathroom. Here we have it on this side as well. And then going upstairs, I think we're gonna use the martini lights. These are from Base Game, and this might be the only opportunity to use them. I added in a baseball bat. I added that in earlier. We need a computer since this is technically their office. And then for some other villain items, we could add the stolen ATM, the villain looking swivel chair. We could add one of these screens from Strangerville, maybe some more of the Strangerville signs. I found a classic Vegas picture, and I need to make sure Sims can get up here, so I can't add anything too crazy. Maybe we just add one of these cork boards with the lights going around it. Those can be study notes. This is such a random room, but those slot machines were way too cool not to use. We've also got a little bit of the villain aspect happening here. I think we're ready to move on to the final one today. Okay, moving on to the final aesthetic, we are going to be doing Scenecore. Okay, and then for our major, we are going to be doing computer science. Okay, that makes so much sense. Oh my goodness, this brings me back so much. I have always found this aesthetic so fun. This is one of those like Y2K alternative aesthetics. It reminds me of like MySpace era. For an alternative aesthetic, it is very colorful, very bright. We've got patterns mixed in, a little bit of cartoon core as well. I wanted this hair so bad. Like the classic side bang with the hair teased into oblivion, and like the straighter the hair, the better. Like Hair Damage did not know her, did not care. For the bedroom, I feel like it's going to be a bit of a darker maximalist feel, but we're still going to be bringing in some of those like colorful items, posters on the wall. It's a lot going on. I'm tempted to put Live, Laugh, Love in between the two. It will be a little bit annoying because I'm going to have to go in and delete all of the landscaping that I did, and she's going to lose out on her bay windows and basically all of her windows, but that's okay. We can just replace it with more quotes. Then we can move all of this over so it's centered, and I basically want to do this because this is going to be another dark townhouse. Like I'm going in and making this match the other one. Okay, I've gotten pretty much everything back to where I want it to be. Our Scenecore house is going to be to the left, and now Live, Laugh, Love is dead in the center of these two. Now all we have to do is customize the Scenecore house, and this one might be a little hard on the outside because I don't really picture them spending a whole lot of time outside. As a computer science student, I'm picturing the Sims spending a lot of time inside on their computer, maybe playing video games. I do think we should change this over to a checkered rug though, like this one from Pastel Bob. In the back, we could do the inflatable furniture. We could do black with the pink checkered rug. We could give them the chessboard. This is gonna match the rug. I would assume they'd be high on the logic skill as well, so that checks out. And I think I'm gonna give them these chairs here. The little campers chairs. Wait, they're actually kind of cute with the chessboard. Oh, we could put a flag outside. Definitely a speaker. Maybe some pictures, but I want to save a lot of this for indoors. Like inside, we can make a lot crazier, but I feel like it might look kind of weird if we just add a billion things out here at once. So let's just leave it at that for now, and then we'll go inside, and that's where we're really gonna add in the maximalism. This actually works out because it gives me more opportunity to just add more signs and lights on the Vegas house. I'm gonna have to go in and rearrange some things in there, I think, but overall, here's how our townhouse has turned out on the outside. So for the inside, our layout is gonna be the same, and I have gone through and picked some of the wallpaper. We might change this, but a lot of them are patterned. I think I'm also also gonna go in and change some of my lighting right away too. Maybe some pink, maybe some purple. And we can't forget the computer science aspect of this, so we are gonna be a little bit like futuristic, maybe a little techie with the decor as well. Oh, and I also did add this cat bin. I just feel like this sim is gonna have a cat. So I'm gonna add the litter box outside right away. I'll just put this right here. And let's grab our essentials again. I think I'm gonna stick with like all black for the counters and the kitchen essentials. We can do a similar layout that we did for the Live, Laugh, Love, but then everything else that we add is going to be colorful. We can do patterned trash can. I want shelving this time so we can clutter it up completely. We can add colorful jars. I also want like little knickknacks up here too. Underneath these, we can add the lights from high school years, and we need to start bringing in the decor. This is not enough. We're probably going to be using this checkered rug a few times. Oh, we can use these. These are from Parenthood. We can add this little picture from Get to Work. Why do I get Scenecore vibes from these dinosaurs? So far we have our kitchen. I do want to add a laptop. Actually, we're going to do this tablet and we're going to use the checkered pattern. Wait, these curtains. Oh my goodness. I think I have to save them for the bedroom, but like it looks like what people in this aesthetic used to do with their hair. Like it was common for people to stripe their hair, and it reminded me of this. I don't know. Let's set a couch. I don't know if we'll be able to get a TV in this room, but like we should have one, right? Like I feel like this thing would be a gamer. All right, we're rolling with the inflatable furniture in here too. We'll use this console setup from Tiny Living, and that way we don't have to delete any of the windows, and we're not going to be covering any of them either. I'm gonna add some guitars in here. They're just gonna match the vibe. Some little knickknacks, like this camera is cute too, but we're gonna need the gaming consoles. I'm also adding a bookshelf there. I'm adding these lights behind the TV. I want them to look like those lights that sometimes people have in their streaming setups. Like this is the picture that I'm looking at right now with those lights that are hanging down. Ooh, we could do a streaming room upstairs. That's what we're gonna do. It can be their part-time study, and when they're not studying, they're streaming. Oh, that looks so cute like that. I feel like bows for some reason also work. Oh, and the neon lights from high school years. I'm basically just trying to fill any empty spot. Oh, and some of the comfy gamer stuff, like this plant. We can add a controller over here, some games. We can add some Sims posters, also from the comfy gamer kit. Oh, and the cat, we can't forget about the cat. We need some bowls and a little bed. And I'm just gonna add a table here. And on there, I'm gonna add just a bunch of plushies. Oh, this guy is perfect. There is so much going on in here, but I feel like it's kind of fun. It's so different from the other ones we did today. I love this kitchen. It's so like untraditional. Same as this spot over here. I added some pictures of like friends. This is the hangout spot for sure. This is where everyone's coming after school, which is another reason why the Live, Laugh, Love townhouse is gonna be so annoyed. But okay, let's go up and do the bedroom next. I've already got a few things going in here, so let's find a bed. I want to keep with this purpley, like this could maybe work out, and then we can raise up some stuffed animals like this guy. Ooh, Skelly Bear. Okay, this is working out even better. I'm trying to find a rug to go under this. I was thinking like a star one or even this rainbow rug, and we need even more posters. Anything that I find that's not fitting this bedroom, I think I'm gonna put upstairs. Like I've already started putting this rug in here. I know there are some other posters like this that could work. These posters could work in this room. I want to add some star decals. Also, there's a lightning one in here. I definitely want to add those. I'm gonna add a dresser with stickers on it from high school years. I also want this mirror somewhere from high school years, even though I already just added one in the corner. And like we should probably have a desk and a computer in our bedroom too, right? I'm thinking yes, and then we can have the cat chair. We can add a different computer. I'm gonna save this one for upstairs in the streaming room. So we'll use this one. Actually, we have a streaming setup here too. Perfect. Definitely gonna go with the rainbow. We can add some flags, maybe this cat light. Definitely gonna need another cat bed. Maybe we can use this egg one. This is so fun for me. I always thought the scene girlies were so cool, or honestly just the scene aesthetic in general was so cool to me. I had a friend in elementary school who was a guy with the scene aesthetic and he rocked it. Okay, so this is our Scenecore bedroom. I'm obsessed. All of the stuffed animals, the posters on the wall. We've got a desk area over to this side. I could honestly still keep going and add even more probably. Like one more stuffed animal won't hurt. Oh, and actually I have to change this door. There's a perfect one for this from high school years. This one either side would do. And then in the hallway, it'll look like that. For the bathroom, I'm gonna keep going with the black and pink. This is the second time I'm using this City Living toilet today, which I don't normally use, but I really do like it. We'll do a sink right here. And you know what? Let's use the cat mirror. Going with the black and pink vibe for this one. I think I'll add a neon light in this room. I might change this over so it has like the butterflies instead. So there's our bathroom. And then coming upstairs, I started adding some stuff in here, but this is where I want to start working on the streaming setup. We're going to use this table from high school years. We'll add a different computer this time. I still want to use the cat chair. For the setup, I'm going to use those panda shelves, but then we're going to add the table from the Comfy Gamer Kit behind, like the console table that literally everyone uses, on YouTube at least. I'm going to add some pictures over to this side, but then behind here, we're going to use those vertical lights again. I'm going to have to use Alt to go in between. I love that. And then we can use some more of the Comfy Gamer stuff to decorate. So I'm just filling in some of these shelves. We're going to add in some more neon lights. On this side, I'm just adding more posters, but I think what I'm going to do is put a TV in front of this, so they could also watch TV while they're gaming. For final items in here, I'm adding a cat lamp. I'm adding a beanbag chair. Actually, we'll add a couple of them. We can make this super cozy so other Sims could come up and watch TV. I'm going to add an amp back here. They could use that as a speaker. And we'll finish it off with some light panels from high school years. So that's it for our Scenecore streaming room. Perfect for our computer science student. I love this one. Even on the side, I feel like that looks so cool. And they're set. They've got their TV, it's a hangout spot. They've got everything they need up here. So that has been us building townhouses for different college majors in different aesthetics. Let me know which one was your favorite in the comment section down below. And if you have any video ideas you want to see me do, let me know that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.